Hi! Now within this lecture we're going to see how we can use man-in-the-middle framework to conduct an DNS attack. So as you might remember, we have used this command before: Python man-in-the-middle framework py eth0 arp spoof gateway and target. Now at the end of this command I will just add one parameter, and this is --DNS. It stands for DNS attack, and it actually manipulates the DNS when we want. But I'm not going to run this command right now because we haven't specified to man-in-the-middle framework which websites do we want to redirect and which IPs do we want to redirect them to. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go into my man-in-the-middle framework master folder, and over here find the config folder, and here you will see a file called man-in-the-middle framework.conf. So open that file with text editor. Okay, we're going to edit the configuration file of man-in-the-middle framework tool, and over here if you scroll down a little bit you will see some DNS section like that. So under DNS section, the first thing that you want to find is these A records. So we're going to change these A records. As you can see, there are some default values over here, like direct sprawl.org to this IP. We're not interested in that. I'm just going to say star dot, and I'm just going to write the domain name that I want to direct to. Okay, so I'm just going to do this in my own website like this. Okay, and I will say 10.02.15. Of course, you can use the same example as well. And remember, we have to find an HTTPS website rather than HSTS because we have to strip it first in order to make this work. And I'm just going to try this on unicornitems.com as well. After you save this, you can close this down, and now if I run this command, it will take that DNS option from the configuration file. So let's run this. Okay, and let's go to the Windows, and now let me open this Explorer one more time, and let's go over here to settings to clear the cache so that we won't be experiencing any odd behavior from this browser. Okay, so let me clear all of these things and come back once it's done. So first thing I'm going to test is to go to a website called hotmail.com. So this hotmail.com is not in our DNS manipulation list, so I expect my browser to open this in a regular way. Like over here, it opened the hotmail.com. It actually stripped down the SSL as well, so we are just seeing this in HTTP form, and it works. Okay, so we didn't break anything, so it's okay. And the next thing that I want to test is to actually go to my own website. So if I manage to downgrade it to HTTP, it will open the domain name for me, but it won't go to my own website. Rather, it will just go to 10.02.15. So let me go to atilsamasioli.com over here. Okay, and if I hit enter, it will open the 10.02.15 content for me. Here we go. Now we see the I hack you, even though the domain name is not 10.02.15, because it thinks that this browser thinks that this domain name is hosted in the 10.02.15. So let me try this with unicornitems.com as well. And since this is HTTP, it will be easier actually, and we will see the I hack you over here as well. So here we go. Now we manipulated the DNS queries, the DNS responses. So this is one of the reasons that we were using man-in-the-middle framework actually. Remember, I told you that BetterCap is actually updated and it's much newer compared to the man-in-the-middle framework, but man-in-the-middle framework runs DNS attacks and SSL strip in a more efficient way when we compare it to the BetterCap, at least at this moment. So right now you know how to run attacks using man-in-the-middle framework. And now we're going to move on to the BetterCap so that we can have two options. We can learn two tools in order to run these man-in-the-middle attacks because they are so important in the network security subjects. Of course, if you don't want to watch the rest of these BetterCap sections, you're more than welcome to do so, but I really suggest you go ahead and watch them so that you can learn how to work with BetterCap as well.